come from, or they originate from political organizations. Which means that if I put them together, the interaction between governments and transnationals has always two dimensions. In all social exchanges, you always have a degree of conflict and a degree of cooperation. So we can have a matrix type of thing. I won't take your time so much in explaining it. But what you can say, what it tells me is that the relationship or interaction between companies and multinational companies and governments is of different types. Not all of them are of the same nature. Because they need different frequencies of contacts, the purposes are different, and different types of resources are exchanged. One can say, for example, in this case, if we have a low type of situation, well, it means simply the multinational corporation will have a great trouble. They will either leave or they have to do something else to change the world. So all these organizations, for that reason, will have certain problems to justify their existence. So I will, for the researchers, I will give you three different issues that could be of interest from this point of view. As a conclusion, one is that what is the impact of anything that you do on the bottom line? As I said, transnational corporations are economic animals, commercial, or it has to be profit-oriented. If governments or organizations ask them to do something else, for example, sustainability issues, what is going to be the impact of that on the economic performance of a multinational firm? We need to know a little more on that. So, a second thing is that, or I will take just one more because I think that I've already taken my time, so I will conclude by saying that. In my presentation, I have portrayed multinational corporation as a monolithic organization, one where you have a whole decision-making is simple one, which is, in my opinion, not a very correct picture of a multinational firm. Because what you have in a multinational firm, as I showed you in a picture earlier, that you have headquarters and then you have a number of subsidiaries located abroad. Headquarters has a decision-making right. They are formally responsible for, and they have formal power of doing it. However, those subsidiaries who are doing business abroad, they have the tacit knowledge of the market, which the headquarters doesn't have. This means that in certain cases, it is the subsidiaries who are more powerful informally than the headquarters themselves. Question is, how is that going to impact, for example, sustainability issues or debate? How is that going to influence things like knowledge transfer from one country to another on the issues like sustainability? So thank you for listening.
Mr. Sharma, with the due permission of the chairs and the co-chair, may I have the liberty of asking a few questions? Yeah, few questions, please. Before that, I would regret that my colleague is feeling bad that he couldn't introduce Professor Dharmdev Sharma. Actually speaking, Professor Sharma doesn't need any introduction. He is a man of international marketing and internationalization, and he has published in most of the very esteemed journals. And whenever you have a Google search, you will find whole of things are written about Professor Dharmdev Sharma. So thank you, Professor Sharma, for agreeing to our request. A few questions, please.
Yes, please. I'm Dr. Raj. He says that political parties are involved, bureaucracy is involved, and still he would like to give the name social exchange. Why not political exchange? Because basically it is a political economy decision whenever the negotiations take place. That is the question to him. And to the first speaker, while trying about the neuroeconomic science, that value system, and for that purpose, just to see that the left brain works or right brain works, that doesn't work. Ultimately, it is the value system, and that will come when one thinks beyond this life? Thank you.
At the beginning, at the very outset, you had said that I won't be going into questions of ethics and so on. It is more of a sort of a dissection of how the different roles are laid out and what kind of exchanges, interactions.
I'll answer you as a researcher. That is the first question. That first answer to you. As a researcher, you have the freedom of choosing your framework. And my framework is social exchange theory. I'm not saying that political theory is not appropriate for that. That's not the case. I'm not saying that economic theory is not appropriate for that either. These are alternative theories for interpreting the same phenomenon. And I'm using social exchange theory. However, political exchange theory does say, for example, the term legitimacy, which I used earlier, comes from the politics. And I am using it. Yes, so we have integrated aspects of political theory in our framework, but we are not imitating them or copying them. We have, or I have, a slightly different way of looking at it. For this reason is that the multinational corporation is a commercial organization, and I have to bring into that the commercial aspects of how a firm works. And that is the area I work in. That's what I know. Politics is, they are political scientists. They can do that, and they are better than me doing that than I am. So I leave it to them. Better do good thing in your field rather than enter into 10 different fields or try to answer all the questions. I'm not trying to answer all the questions. I'm simply trying to answer some questions as I interpreted. Of course, my framework is, of course, partial. Any model is partial. It has to be partial. I'm not telling you the reality. I'm giving you a framework of analysis. That's it. So that is a simple answer to that. I hope I'll answer some of the questions. When it comes to, there was a question of, first I'll jump, black money and judiciary question. Will black money come back? Well, if I knew that, I will open a consulting firm and become a millionaire, if not a billionaire. So, and of course, I'm a Bihari, they love money, and they are always involved in black money. I am not, because I have never lived in there. So. You can outsource from here. So, I don't know. The answer is, you see, black money, once the money has left any country, it's going to be very difficult to get it back because the processes are very cumbersome. There are in all the countries bureaucratic sides and judiciary is involved. I think that expecting that all the money will come back to India, in my opinion, I'm not an expert on that issue, is going to be impossible task. Even if the government gets 10-15% of the money back, they should be happy with it. I think that it's more a wastage of time. Bureaucracies we deal with so that no more black money is generated rather than running after the money that has already left India. Yes. In the political field, it's of course an interesting issue because political parties can hit at each other by that. But I don't think that any political party in the present circumstances will be able to bring it. We have the case of all the countries. Now here, since you asked me this question, so I will ask you, I will say one thing, which I know that is going to be very controversial here, and I'm prepared to accept that I'm at fault. The best way to deal with black money issue is have an open economy. If you look at the corruption index in the world, you will find one thing. The more the rules you have, the more the corruption you have. The Nordic countries, for example, if you look at this year's corruption index, transnational transparency index that was published only just a few days ago, 3 top countries, if you look at the 4 top countries, 3 were from Northern Europe: Finland, Denmark, Sweden, 1 Switzerland. All of these are very open economies. They allow free competition No protection to domestic firms. If you can't compete, get out, leave the field, that's it. If that is it. But then, of course, you have to protect your labor. But protecting labor is not the same thing as inefficient organization. Retrain them, educate them. That is the solution, in my opinion. But I am, of course, colored by the experience of Sweden, which is a small country. When it comes to the judiciary question, the legal side, yes, they are very powerful. But as I said that they are important, I'm not saying in any way, but I was trying to present a general framework. And for me, judiciary comes as a type of, not really, it's not a bureaucracy. Rather, it is interpreting the rules. It is telling the bureaucracy that the interpretations that they have made are wrong or not wrong. They're correct or incorrect. So they don't add anything new to my analysis from that point of view. That's why I won't differentiate separate. But they are powerful, yes, in implementing policies. That is true, sir. Anything? There was one more question which I think that I forgot by this time since I've been talking too much. So either you repeat it or I have to.
They can exchange during
dinner time. Thank you.
Questions. I think I can join all these questions in one answer. So I was talking a little with Professor Nathan during my stay there, and he said, why not try to join neuroscience with the other areas and try to see what happens in the future. Everything I can say and justify in this meeting will be, I cannot prove. Why? Because we are just starting this part of science. If I was a political, probably I can say something. In science, you know, all of you know that we can say nothing without proving. So, why not join neuroscience to our economics, finance, management, and other areas, and start to, in my point of view, make the next revolution in science? We have a lot of professors of economics, finance, and management here, and all of us know that to publish in some journals, we need to buy databases, we need to find the good data to produce our papers. But this is a problem. We are always working with the past, not with the present. So everything about science produced until the moment will be related with the past. Join neuroscience with all our areas can make next step in science is just see what happens in the exact moment you make decisions in economics, finance, management, etc., etc., etc. So this is a big challenge to us. Why? Because we slowly leave the past database that we pay a lot to publishing in good journals. So you know, all of professors know that a good database from America, from other countries, is very expensive to get. And you know also to publish in good journals, you need to access to this database, otherwise you have no time to collect all these data. So the next step in science, in my point of view, will be to see what happens in the exact moment and not in history. In exact moment you take the decisions. In any kind of decisions will be available in this situation. So I think it's a small revolution in science. And you cannot do that alone. So if you are a professor of finance, don't think about to be a neuroscientist. So you need to join another colleagues from neuroscience and join to make something new. So you spend, if you know that medicine will take a lot of years to study just a part of your body. So you cannot take a PhD in finance and after that take a PhD in neuroscience and take a PhD in everything, because you will die when you start to produce something. The idea is to join different teams with different knowledge, and it seems that neuroscience can bring something new to these areas. So I can respond to all of you with some answer that is, we know practically nothing about this area, so everything I can say here will be simulations, and I don't like to do simulations in finance, so because some of crises will appear during, and some recent crises are related with some products of finance that we create, some amazing models that we create, and we know actually that are not performing very well. So science, we need always to prove, and it's a new challenge. And like Professor Nutt said, why not try? Probably will be the next step to understand how we think about, and will take 100 years or more to produce this kind of some good in terms of books, some good in terms of quality, but it's next steps in my point of view. Thank you very much.
I request Dr. Arnkar to kindly present vote of thanks. I have to say that MESD 2012 plenary sessions have been a great success with participants from 9 different countries with delegates of more than 300. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Paul Srivastava for readily agreeing to our request to deliver the keynote address. It is always a pleasure to listen to you, sir. Your presence today is a great source of motivation, and I, on behalf of my entire team, thank Professor Paul for the support and encouragement throughout this period through lots of exchanges. On behalf of the entire team of MESD 2012, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Professor João Paulo Vetor and Professor Dharamdev Sharma. It is indeed a matter of great privilege to listen to these distinguished speakers who have squeezed time out of their hectic schedule. Professor Vetor gave a complete new dimension to the traditional thinking on finance and sustainable development. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation despite your busy schedule, and I know he will be leaving for his upcoming World Finance Symposium in Shanghai, 17 December. Thank you, Professor Sharma, for sparing your valuable time and contributing a paper for our conference. And not only that, he is also helping us in framing the format of the conference. So big round of applause for both this. A special thank to Professor Nutan Rasutra and Professor S.K. V's to readily agree to chair this session. A big round of applause for both of you, sir. I may sound a little immodest, however, I have to say that MESD 2012, the first day, has been a great success with the presence of delegates, authors, speakers, and our enthusiastic students and volunteers. I would like to express gratitude to Indian Council of Social Science Research for enabling this event happening in Delhi. I thank all our sponsors, especially Delhi Metro, Community Friendly Movement, Union Bank of India, CRDJ, Critic Communications for their support and facilitation. We would express our gratitude to the friends from media, especially from Millennium Post, our media partner, Times of India, Jansatta, BBC News, and many more who have given wide coverage to this event. I would like to express my gratitude to our governing bodies, especially our chairman, Sri Siddharth Mishra, who has been a source of inspiration, and my dear colleagues, friends, and some of my teachers, and members of different committees, and all these youngsters, enthusiastic volunteers, and lots of support staff who have been working, day, night, and out for the last 3 and 4 months for making it a big success on this occasion. We especially thank the listeners and participants coming from different parts of India and abroad. A big round of applause for all of you. Finally, I hope you will enjoy the coming 2 days as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Kar. Now, before we begin the cultural program, may I request floor management team to prepare the stage for it. Quickly, please.
After this very short break of 5 minutes, Honorable Speaker of Delhi Assembly, Shri Dr. Yoganand Shastri, he has already arrived. So please be seated, and within very few minutes we'll be starting the cultural evening. Please bear with us for 5 minutes. Thank you.
MESD 2012. Dr. Yoganand Shastri, an intellectual of international eminence, is Honorable Speaker, Delhi Legislative. Dr. Shastri is a person who believes in simple living and enhancement of Indian cultural heritage and values. Now I consider it a great honor to invite Honorable Dr. Shastri on the dais. And I request you, sir, to please garland the statue of Goddess Saraswati. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Lalli to present bouquet and souvenir as a token of respect to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Yoganand Shastri ji. Thank you, sir. Sir, we request you to please enlighten us with your few words and give blessings.
I would like to speak in Hindi. Please don't mind. आप यहाँ पर हमारे बहुत से अध्यापक और विद्यार्थी बैठे हैं। मैं आपसे एक प्रश्न करना चाहता हूँ, सवाल करना चाहता हूँ, और वो ये कि आप में कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति है क्या जो हारना चाहता हो? सब जीतना चाहते हैं ना, आप हारना चाहते हैं, इसका मतलब आपको पता है। और कोई तो हारना नहीं चाहता। कल्चर की बात हो रही है। हमारे देश की जो संस्कृति है वो बहुत अधिक समृद्ध है, और उसमें ये कहा गया है शिष्याद इष्येत पराजयम, अपने शिष्य से पराजय की इच्छा करे गुरु। और क्यों करे? इसलिए करे कि वो ये चाहे कि मेरा शिष्य इतना आगे जाए, दुनिया में इतना नाम कमाए कि मैं उसके नाम से जाना जाऊं। ये भारतीय संस्कृति का बहुत बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण अंग है। यहाँ पर शहीद भगत सिंह कॉलेज ने यह अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कॉन्फ्रेंस रखी है, जैसा नाम वैसा काम। शहीद भगत सिंह के बारे में इस समय बोलने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। मैं माननीय डॉक्टर पी.के. खुराना साहब, आनंद साहब, चोपड़ा साहब और उनकी जितनी भी टीम है उसको बधाई देना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर की इतनी अच्छी और बड़ी कॉन्फ्रेंस यहां पर रखी है। यदि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के, हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के सभी महाविद्यालय इसका अनुसरण करें तो हम बहुत आगे जा सकते हैं शैक्षणिक दृष्टि से, और दुनिया में बहुत कुछ प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। अधिक न बोलते हुए एक सवाल और कर रहा हूं आपसे, एक प्रश्न कर रहा हूं। बृहत्तर भारत के बारे में आप क्या जानते हैं? बृहत्तर भारत क्या है? ग्रेटर इंडिया क्या है? देखिए, हमने दुनिया में तलवार की नोक से भले ही दुनिया को नहीं जीता हो, लेकिन अपनी संस्कृति, अपनी परंपरा और अपनी सभ्यता के द्वारा हमने आधी दुनिया से ज़्यादा अपना प्रसार किया, वहाँ के लोगों के दिलों में अपनी जगह बनाई और वहाँ तक हम पहुँचे। कैसे? जावा, सुमात्रा, बाली, बोर्नियो, थाईलैंड, मलेशिया, इंडोनेशिया, म्यांमार, वियतनाम, लाओस, इन सब देशों में हम किसी न किसी रूप में थे। कंबोडिया और चंपा तो दो ऐसे देश थे जहां भारतीय राजाओं ने कई पीढ़ियों तक राज्य किया। और कंबोडिया यदि आप जाएं और वहां देखें तो आपको सुनकर के आश्चर्य होगा कि वहां का जो अंकोर वाट मंदिर है वो 40 किलोमीटर की परिधि में है। दुनिया में इतना बड़ा कोई मंदिर नहीं है जितना कंबोडिया में है। और इंडोनेशिया की बात आप करें, 1% भी हिंदू वहां पर नहीं है। लेकिन डॉक्टर खुराना साहब, इंडोनेशिया में एक जगह वहां के वासियों ने ऐसी निश्चित कर रखी है जहां हर 40वें दिन वो रामायण का मंचन। वो भी रामायण का मंचन करते हैं। आप थाईलैंड आ जाइए, बैंकॉक से 32 किलोमीटर दूर पर एक बहुत बड़ा माउंट था। वहां के आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट ने एक्सकर्शन कराया और वहां पर जो नगर निकला, थाईलैंड वासी ये कहते हैं कि असली अयोध्या ये है। हिंदुस्तान की जो अयोध्या है वो असली अयोध्या नहीं है, हमारी असली अयोध्या है। और उसको वो किस तरह से उच्चारित करते हैं? अयोध्या, अयोध्या कहकर के वो पुकारते हैं। इसलिए मैं कह रहा था कि हमने बृहत्तर भारत का निर्माण किया है। आप मध्य एशिया जाइए, कितने सारे देश हैं जहां पर हमारी विद्यमानता थी। ताजिकिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान, काबुल, कांधार में तो हमारी कला ही बहुत अधिक पनपी थी। 2 स्कूल ऑफ आर्ट थे प्रथम शताब्दी ईस्वी में, एक गांधारा स्कूल ऑफ आर्ट और दूसरा मथुरा स्कूल ऑफ आर्ट। गांधारा स्कूल ऑफ आर्ट जो था उस पर ग्रीक का प्रभाव था और मथुरा स्कूल ऑफ आर्ट जो था वो विशुद्ध रूप से भारतीय कला उसमें थी। अधिक न बोलते हुए मैं अपनी बात को समाप्त करना चाहता हूं और आपसे केवल एक सवाल छोड़ करके मैं जा रहा हूं। कभी अवसर मिला, डॉक्टर खुराना साहब का यदि आदेश हुआ तो इस विषय पर लंबी बात करेंगे, बहुत कुछ है कहने को। एक बात कह करके मैं खत्म कर रहा हूं और धन्यवाद कर रहा हूं आप सबका कि आपने मुझे यहां पर बुलाया। यह माना कि बड़े आपके नामवर थे, सखावत के पुतले सुजायत के घर थे, मगर यह तो देखो कि तुम आज क्या हो, जमाने में तुम किस मर्ज की दवा हो। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Of diverse culture. The culture of India refers to the beliefs, customs, traditions, languages, ceremonies, arts, values, and the way of life of India and its people. Thus, our elegant performers are here to present the various forms of Indian culture through their performances. The Ganesh Vandana is an invocation to Sri Ganesh, the Hindu god of all beginning. Lord Ganesh, also the god of knowledge, higher arts, and pure intelligence, amongst numerous other qualities.